Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks and just show you guys the best strategy here for Season 10 after the recent update. And as well show you guys the high kill rotation that I had in this game. I ended up dropping I dropped like 22 kills in this game. So definitely stay to the end of the video because this game plays absolutely insane. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. The link for that will be in the description or the pinned comment. Turn on my post notifications and as well comment down below your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys would like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is YoungHumor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate all you guys who do add me. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to be talking about the best strategy here for Season 10 in my opinion, and as well show you guys the high kill rotation that I had here in this gameplay that allowed me to drop upwards of 22 kills. Absolutely went off towards the end, and also towards the middle was probably the craziest part of this game. So starting out, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the recent update that they made to the game, and this was just of yesterday. It really depends on when you're watching this video, but for me, they made it yesterday. And they nerfed the mechs, which is absolutely huge, and this is a huge game changer as well because it definitely changed a lot of aspects of the game. And for those of you guys who didn't read all the patch notes when it came to the nerf, basically what they did, they nerfed pretty much everything with the mech. They nerfed the missiles, they moved it down from 10 to 6. They also made the timer, I think it was up like 53%. So it takes 53% more time to recharge when it comes to the missiles, and also the boost takes a lot longer to recharge. And when you're in the air, so before you jumped up and then use the boost in the air, you can jump really far. You can get across the map extremely quickly. But they did nerf it a little bit, so you would jump, use the boost, and you would only jump. I mean, you still jump like a decent amount of distance, but you wouldn't jump as far as you used to. So they made, and the one thing they did add is they added a little bit more HP to the mech, which really isn't a problem because they made so many nerfs to it. And as well, the one nerf that I think was really important too, is once the mech stomps on like items, so it stops on like a house, stomps on a tree, you can't get any mats from it, which is absolutely huge because when you used to kill people who were in the mech, well, if you could even do that, but if you were in a mech and you went through a house or two, you can easily have max wood and brick within probably 30 seconds tops. I mean, it was really easy to get a bunch of materials very quickly, so you're able to do that. And as well, you could at least pick off like 5, 6, 7 players with the mech before it gets destroyed. So super easy thing to use, and they've made a really big change with this nerf coming to the game. So this definitely changes a lot, and this changes my strategy because I used to go for the mechs at the beginning of the game. I thought it was super crucial to go for them because they were just so overpowered, and they really did need a nerf. And I think with the nerf, I think it's not very useful to actually land on a mech anymore, especially for solos, because I mean it's just too weak at this point. But when it comes to duos, I guess it could still be kind of good, but it really isn't as overpowered as it used to be, and it's pretty balanced in my opinion. So it's really not something that everybody should be trying to get every single game because you can't get your mats from it, so you have to jump out if you want to get materials. And as well, they nerfed a lot of aspects when it comes to the damage and also the amount of missiles that you can shoot. So when it comes to the strategy that I use, personally, when it comes to the start of the game, I probably wouldn't land anywhere. If there was like a mech that landed in the middle of Pleasant, I probably wouldn't land there. But at the same time, it's not as big of a deal, just for the reason that has 1,250 HP. So in the beginning of the game, you really don't even have that much ammo to do that amount of damage. Because when it comes to the mech, it definitely is significantly weaker. But if you don't even have enough ammo to do the damage to it, then it really doesn't help you out at all. So my recommendation when it comes to strategy, I would say probably the first thing still applies for the reason that I talked about, is the mech is still kind of OP when it comes to the very start of the game, just because you don't have enough ammo to destroy it. So if you don't have any ammo in your weapons, then you're pretty much useless and you're going to end up losing to it anyways. So at the beginning of the game, probably would stay away. And in most games, a lot of times when it comes to the mech, usually 2 people from each team land in it and they end up self-destructing it. But just if you want to go for win streaks and to win as many games as possible, it would just be better to stay away from areas where the mech specifically lands on. I think that could be probably a really good suggestion. But other than that, you shouldn't even have to worry about it, because by the I'd say the middle of the game, especially in this game, because I dropped so many kills in the middle of the game, that honestly, it shouldn't make that much of a difference, because you're going to have plenty and plenty of ammo to destroy the mech very easily. Especially if you're in a game like duos, the mech can really only focus on one player. The boost isn't as often. It doesn't, the cooldown on it's a lot higher, and there's not as many missiles, which is the number one thing that was completely overpowered with it, was the missiles. And in my opinion, as long as they nerfed the missiles, I would have been completely happy, because that was the number one thing that was completely overpowered. It didn't matter how you turbo built, what you did, how you built. You just had zero chance against the mech when it had the 10 missiles. But now I think the radius of it, so like when you shoot the 6 missiles that it has now, I think it's spread out a little bit more. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It's not as like straightforward as it used to be. It spreads out a little bit more, so it's definitely a big nerf. And that's the only thing you need to worry about when it comes to the mech, is the missiles. Other than that, the mech is pretty much not even that strong. The cooldown on it's a lot less, and they made a bunch of nerfs. So you shouldn't really have to worry about it too much. And even in this game, I didn't have to worry about a mech once. And it could have been just a lucky game, but in most of the games, in my opinion, that I saw, most of the time I really didn't have to worry about a mech at all. And if I ever did run into a mech, it's not as strong as it used to be, and you can definitely take it out if you're very smart with the way you play against it. And in duos or squads, it's going to be even easier to take it out. In solos, it could be a little bit more difficult, because you're the only player and it has so much HP on the mech. But at the same time, in solos, you can easily just self-destruct it. So the mech really shouldn't be that much of a problem anymore. It's just one of those things that can be kind of annoying if you run into, but it's not going to be a game changer like it was before. The second you run into a mech, you really had no chance whatsoever. So I definitely think you have to consider that. And as far as the high kill rotation, or getting high kills in this game right now after the update, like I said, I think the mech really isn't that much of a problem. I think it's the way it should be, where it's not too overpowered. It's one of those things that maybe you can get like 1 or 2 kills in it, but it's not going to max out your material. It's going to be completely unbeatable. So I feel like any good player can really take it out pretty easily. So I think that's really good, and it shouldn't be something you have to worry about. So if you want to go for high kill games, I would say the start of the game, you could worry about it a little bit if you don't have enough ammo. But after that, to the mid to the late part of the game, it really shouldn't be a problem, and you should basically have the same rotation as you normally would when going for kills. And for this game, like you guys saw, I landed at Pleasant Park. And then I went to the middle. I think I had like 4 kills leaving Pleasant Park. And I literally left the middle. I think it was about 12 kills. So I got 8 kills from the time I left Pleasant, and by the time I left the middle, because I literally ran into so many people. I think everybody, I don't know why everyone was coming in that direction, because there's no slipstreams or anything, but I don't know really what the case was there, but literally everyone was going to the middle of Loot Lake, which is honestly not a bad rotation, because in the middle of Loot Lake you have the rift, so you can take that very easy over the Dusty Div. You could probably get really close to Salty from it, go to the towers, Pleasant Park. So you do have a lot of options when it comes to the middle of Loot Lake. That's why I like to land at Pleasant a lot, because you have the rift by the Durburger, and you can easily use that to go to the middle of Loot Lake, and then take the one from the middle of Loot Lake to pretty much anywhere around the map when it comes to the center. So Dusty Divot, Salty Springs, I think that's going to be your best bet if you want to go for high kill games here for Season 10. And I could be wrong, because I do like to land at Paradise Palms. But the only problem is sometimes there isn't any rifts, and I've literally seen it where people would land there just to jump in the rifts and run away. I don't know why people do that. It's super petty, it's super annoying, but some people actually do that. And some people, when you're clearing out Paradise Palm, some people just run away, run to the rifts, and then just leave. So that happens too. So when it comes to Pleasant Park, you know for sure at Loot Lake, because you have the hovercrafts that are going to be close to the Durburger. I'm not sure exactly how to explain it, but it's kind of in the middle between Durburger and Pleasant Park, where you can pick up hoverboards. So even if there isn't any rifts, you can easily take that to the center of Loot Lake, hop in that rift, and then get across the map very quickly. So that's going to be my high rotation for Season 10, and definitely my strategy going forward, because I don't think the mechs are as much of a problem as they were before. I think they're very doable when it comes to destroying them, and it's not going to just destroy you every single time you run into it, unless it's the beginning of the game, which makes sense because you don't really have enough ammo to defend yourself. But other than that, that's going to wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.